Hey, so it's Mr. Henry back again, and I want to give you the week 3 reading lesson. In these reading lessons, I want to give you some ideas on some different things that I've seen throughout the years where students tend to have some struggles or whatever. Anyway, one of the things that I see consistently is that students lose focus in a passage and then they read the entire passage and they're like, I have no idea what I read, and now I'm 3 minutes into my reading and now I'm running out of time on multiple choice. Oh my gosh, what am I going to? And okay, so it's a huge issue. Okay. So what I do is I say you need to focus on the first paragraph, first 10 to 15 lines basically, and focus on that first initial thought. Okay. And then stop and then ask yourself some questions, and that way you don't get caught in that cycle. Okay. So here's the tip: read the first paragraph and stop. Look for what you would do as a writer. Okay. If it is a completed paragraph, then what would you do in the intro to something that you were writing? The last sentence would likely be the thesis. And guess what? No, the first bullet point, does it end with a thesis idea? If it does, they're going to ask you what the main idea of the passage was, and it's right there. If it does not, they're going to ask you about why isn't it there? Where is the thesis? What's the main idea then? So either way, you've kind of keyed yourself into the idea that you want to follow. Second, is the tone positive, negative, neutral? Does this person sound academic? Does a person sound like they're having fun with this? Um, Also, if you can answer this question, now you can get yourself to where you're matching the tone when you get into the multiple choice questions. So when the answer choice is it's a scholarly blah, and you're like, well, nah, he sounded like he was joking around a little bit. Well, that's not scholarly. Okay. And then ask yourself the third question: what should come next? If you've kind of pieced it out here, and you've got a position that somebody's taken, what's going to come next? Is it going to be the opposite side of the argument? Is it going to be the person's main idea? Is it going to be an anecdote describing somebody's perspective or something? So if you get into it and you read it with those three things, then you're going to set yourself up for success because it locks you in with a purpose for reading. And then you're going to be ready to answer questions as you go. Anyway, if you can answer these questions, then look what you've done. Most importantly, you're engaged in the text. Or you can recognize that you are not. If you stop after 10, 15 lines and you have no idea what you did, no idea what you read, stop at 10 lines, reread it, get yourself back on the three questions that you got to answer, and then read it again. Read it. You can do this 2 or 3 times. If you're still not getting it, then we're in a deeper issue. But most of you guys, that's just it. You're just not triggering that response where it's like, okay, I got to lock in. And it's too late if you get to the end of the passage. Anyway, second one. Um, you're also looking for, how is this person supporting the argument? What is the counter argument? What is the writer's thinking? What's the tone? What else? If you can't answer those things, then you got to reread it. And then you can also eliminate answer choices that don't match, like tone, like if you get if you know kind of a general position, then you're like, this doesn't sound like anything that he would say. Okay. So anyway, I told you last week that the big two are command of evidence and analyzing data. Last week we did command of evidence. This week we're going to do analyzing data. So here's what you need to know about analyzing data. Questions are typically about charts or graphs that represent some information in the passage. Passages are usually science or history, and the data is elemental to the central idea in the passage. If you tend to struggle on these questions, you can read the chart or the graph before the passage. It'll give you focus on your reading. This gives you specific things to pay attention to as you read. Look at the axis label and check the measurement scale. These are the things that we instituted week 1 in the PowerPoint. But anyway, here we go. This will also clarify the point the writer is making in the passage regarding the numbers. I'm going to review what you did on the past couple of weeks, so you need those two things for the next video. Anyway, I hope everything's going well, and I will be back in just a moment with the second part.